Series on Fox is presented by Budweiser with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you.
A long season of baseball ends here tonight with one game to determine which of these two teams will be world champions. Curt Schilling preparing to face the Yankees in this starting lineup for New York, brought to you by Budweiser. Derek Jeter will lead off. He's the shortstop. Paul O'Neill batting second in right field. Then it's Bernie Williams in center. Tina Martinez cleans up. Jorge Posadas batting fifth. Shane Spencer in left. Alfonso Soriano's had a good series. He hits seventh. Scott Brosius bats eighth. He's the third baseman. Roger Clemens, 2 out of 16 lifetimes, swinging the bat, pitching and batting ninth. The mound for the second time in this World Series, pitching on 3 days rest, and for the second time in his big league career, right-hander Curt Schilling.
He has worked 7 innings in each game against the Yankees, games 1 and 4. His postseason record 4-0. Stamina and arm strength because of 3 days rest, we'll see. Home runs, he's given up 37, but 31 were solo shots. The only home run that the Yankees had against Schilling, a solo shot. The Yankees can look for shoulder-high heat and shoe-high splitters. This guy lengthens the strike zone.
And when the Yankees put the ball in play defensively, this group backs up Curt Schilling. Again, #1 in the National League defensively, committing only 84 errors during the regular season. They have Gonzalez, Finley, and Batista, who makes the start here in Game 7 after a big Game 6. He's in right with Williams, Womack, Counsell, and Grace. The catcher is Damian Miller. And then it's Curt Schilling, the 22-game winner during the regular season, on the mound. This broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. Curt Schilling, who last night guaranteed a victory, saying we're going to win. The man who will lead it off against him, Derek Jeter, said the only thing I'll guarantee is I guarantee it will be fun. Schilling and Clemens, Arizona and New York, Game 7. First pitch. Strike one. 94 miles per hour on the hands of Derek Jeter, where the Diamondback pitchers have lived games 1 through 7 now. Randy Johnson is available for relief work tonight if needed. One ball, one strike.
If Randy Johnson is in the game, he will have that starter's mentality, and it will probably be late, 8th, 9th inning, says Bob Brenner, giving him time to warm up as though he were a starter.
95 miles per hour, but Schilling juiced up, missing with the last 2 up and out of the strike zone, 2-1. Jeter, last year's MVP during the World Series, is not going to repeat in that category. Only 3 out of 23 with 1 RBI. But it was the game-winning home run in Game 4. Strike 2.
You will be seeing that all night as you look at the numbers on Derek Jeter. Foul balls the other way by Yankee hitters. Ball on top of them by Curt Schilling, particularly that high fastball.
Got it. That smile from Jeter as he walks away after watching a 97-mile-an-hour pitch nail the outside corner.
After trying to come inside 4 times, the fastball away gets Jeter.
Talking to Gary Denbo, his hitting instructor, as Jeter is now 3 out of 24. Here's Paul O'Neill playing most likely, and again, he has never really made it official, but he has said that he is leaning toward retirement at the end of the season, playing in his final game in the big leagues. Takes a ball. O'Neill coming to the Yankees in 1993. Batting in front of Bernie Williams. The 1-0 pitch into right center field. That ball will not be caught, and it'll go all the way to the wall. Paul O'Neill will turn it on and go for three. The throw over. O'Neill out, 2 away.
In our opening, we said the Yankees went 54 innings without getting a runner to third base with less than 2 outs. O'Neill tries it. Watch the throw by Craig Counsell. On the money, Paul O'Neill there. Nailed at third base. Fine relay by Batista and Counsell to get O'Neill.
The play went 9-4-5, and now a strike to Bernie Williams. Williams 5 out of 20 in this World Series, was 2 out of 6 prior at bats against Curt Schilling in this World Series. Breaking ball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
With nobody out or 2 outs, that would have been a bad play by Paul O'Neill. But he was looking for a bad throw by either Batista or Counsell, and he didn't get it. But in my view, it was a good try by O'Neill, particularly with the Yankees not getting runners to third base and trying to score a cheap run early.
2 balls and a strike on Bernie Williams. Base is clear, 2 out. 2-2. Easy into center for Finley. A hit and nobody left. The hit by O'Neill. Tried to push it to third. Batista. Counsell. Williams. 1/2 inning, game 7. No score. When Curt Schilling was interviewed last night after the Diamondback victory, he was asked, how do you feel? He said, I feel like a world champion. We're only 9 innings away. Walking off after the top of the first, you can read his lips saying, that's 1. 1 inning tucked under his belt. He sits on the bench and watches Roger Clemens face the Diamondbacks in their lineup, brought to you by Budweiser. Tony Womack will lead off. He's the shortstop. Craig Counsell batting second. Luis Gonzalez hitting third. Matt Williams had a big night last night. He cleans up. Then it's Steve Finley, Danny Batista, Mark Grace, Damian Miller batting 8th, and Curt Schilling pitching and batting 9th.
Roger Clemens was the first pitcher in Major League history to go 20-1. The Yankees are hopeful that he's the last pitcher in 2001 to go 1-0.
Womack takes a strike over the outside corner. The numbers for Womack, and isn't it amazing? But it is definitely the case with Roger Clemens, a 5-time Cy Young Award winner, who is still asked to prove himself on the big stage. He did so in game 3 with the Yankees down 2-0. He and Rivera hooked up for a 2-1 victory at Yankee Stadium. Now, in what could be a defining start for him in a Yankee uniform, he pitches in the bottom of the first inning with no score in game 7. Strike 2 on Womack.
Our scouting report includes what Joe was talking about. Big game pitcher. He proved that in game 3. Bunt and run. I think the Diamondbacks will try to do that. Bunt to get on, run when they do. Rocket, meet the Bob. His first time pitching here in Phoenix.
Womack pops it up. Out is Jeter, in is Williams. Bernie Williams takes care of it, 1 away. We talked about how good the Arizona defense was during the regular season. We got a glimpse of it in the top of this first inning. Now the defense for the Yankees with Spencer, Williams, and O'Neill in the outfield left to right. On the infield, Brocious, Jeter, Soriano, and Tino Martinez, and a battery of Jorge Posada and Roger Clemens. The Yankees have not played good defense in the games played in this World Series here in Phoenix.
No, they have not. One of the reasons they're 0-3 here in Phoenix.
Here's Craig Counsell. That misses for ball 1.
This is one of those rare games where I think the outfield defense will come into play for both teams more than the infield defense, because both pitchers are fly ball pitchers.
And this is a cavernous outfield.
Right.
It's about as big as it gets in the big leagues, with the different nooks and crannies along the outfield wall. Left center field, 413 feet away. See that yellow stripe? It goes high on the wall out in center field. You have to get it over that stripe to get it out of here for a home run. Odd caroms. Here's a 1-1. Counsell to the right side. Fair ball. Knocked down by Martinez. Base hit. One on, one out in the first inning for Arizona.
Tino Martinez overruns the ball. It hits the heel of his glove. And now in foul territory, Clemens tries to win the race to the bag. Had he held on, Counsell could have been out. Just fair. Martinez knocks it down. The shovel pass could have been in time. I think Counsell may have had something to do. He may have clipped Roger Clemens. We'll see. Nope, Clemens just dropped it. Had he held on, he's out.
And as a result, they're going to give an error to Tino Martinez going to his left. Couldn't come up with it cleanly. And now Luis Gonzalez will bat, 1 on, 1 out. So already we talk about the defense. Certainly not in the category of a routine or an easy play for Tino Martinez going to his left, crossing into foul territory. But on the first hit of the game, they are going to make it clean. And the error puts a man on with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning for Luis Gonzalez.
In football, I hear John Madden talking about a linebacker who over-pursues. Tino Martinez over-pursued on that ground ball. It hit the heel of the glove, an error, and a rare one on Tino.
1 on, 1 out, Luis Gonzalez. That's foul. Gonzalez so far in this series, 6 out of 22. Had 3 hits in last night's game in his final 3 at bats before leaving. Been bothered by a strained left hamstring, and he was hit on the left wrist in game 2 by Andy Pettit. That has bothered him, but has not kept him out of the lineup for Arizona. No balls, 1 strike from Clemens. 1-1.
Talked about the Diamondbacks pitching Derek Jeter inside. That's where the Yankees have tried to pitch Luis Gonzalez. First pitch, a tumbling splitter. Often a hitter will not get on the first pitch how a team's trying to pitch him. That's what setting up a hitter is all about. You can't keep busting him the same place all the time. Show him another look.
Fastball up and out of the strike zone, 95 miles per hour, 2-1. 1 home run. Gonzalez career against Roger Clemens, with a 200 average. There's 1 out of 3 against Clemens back in game 3. Counsell has stayed put at first base so far, and with a count 2-1, Clemens gives him a check.
because Roger Clemens is a fly ball pitcher, it would be unusual for the hit and run to be employed here. But Bob Brenly has said, given the opportunity, he will run against Roger Clemens.
A little closer.
In game 3, Roger Clemens picked off Craig Counsell, and Counsell showed that he was going to second base then.
Back in game 3, he caught Counsell when his right foot was in the air going towards second with his big lead, and he almost did it again.
Not as close as the last time. Counsell diving to the outside of the bag to make Martinez reach farther.
Gonzalez with a count of 2-1. Counsell not running, and Gonzalez fouls it away 2-2. Balls, 2 strikes.
Again inside, and for Roger Clemens, that ball had unusual movement. You don't see a cut fastball from Clemens. That's what that was. Look for Counsell to run right here.
Running. Foul ball.
In that game 3, after picking off Craig Counsell, Roger Clemens walked Steve Finley, and then he struck out Gonzalez as Posada threw out Finley. So the Diamondbacks had 2 base runners in the first inning against Roger Clemens. But Clemens faced the minimum.
Counsell running. Gonzalez grounds to first. It's a fair ball. 2 out. Down to second is Craig Counsell.
Clemens starts off Gonzalez with a splitter. He fouls it off. Then he comes inside. He misses high. Away with the count 2-2. He misses inside. And then 2 more foul balls. And then he finally gets him on the fastball in. So the Yankees continuing to bust Gonzalez inside.
The wheel in the Arizona clubhouse that at the top reads, "Who is our cleanup hitter going to be tonight?" came up on Matt Williams prior to tonight's game. He slides in there. Was 0 for 2 against Clemens in game 3. So far in the World Series, 6 out of 22. He had a pair of doubles and an 8-run third inning last night in that 15-2 blowout. Runner at second with 2 out, no score, first inning. Matt Williams, strike 1.
Revolving door for cleanup hitters have the Diamondbacks.
In the postseason, the Diamondbacks have had Finley there. They've had Matt Williams there. They've had Danny Batista there. They've had Durazo there. They've had Reggie Sanders there, who starts tonight on the bench for Bob Brenly. His toughest decision, he said, making out tonight's game 7 lineup. The 0-1. Late swing, and it's 0-2, 97 miles per hour. As Reggie Sanders sits and watches from the bench. Clemens making his 6th World Series start. He's 3-0 with an ERA of 1.59 in his first 5. No record back in 1986 in 2 starts with Boston against the Mets. The 0-2. Williams just got a piece. Young-Hun Kim watching from the Arizona dugout. Remember, in the late innings with a lead, it'll either be Kim or it could be Randy Johnson.
Sure.
Runner at second, 2 out. 0-2 pitch.
It is frustrating for a pitcher to make pitches like Clemens has made on Williams and to have him stay alive by fouling balls off. The first 0-2 pitch and now this 0-2 pitch off the plate away. Great plate coverage by Williams.
We have seen all but one of Roger Clemens' postseason starts this year, and this is the best early inning velocity we've seen from Clemens yet. Runner at second, 2 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Joe Torre's got to be very happy that Clemens, that tweak in the hamstring, the right hamstring, and the leg off of which he drives appears to be very healthy.
He lasted only 4+ innings in Game 1 of the division series and went 4 1/3 in Game 5. 5 innings in his only start in the ALCS and 7 innings in Game 3 of the World Series. Better and deeper into the game each time out. A 1-2. It stays that way, and Posada smacking his hand into the glove, not coming up with that foul tip.
Clemens has had a lot of lower body problems in his career, but no arm problems because he uses that lower part of his body off of which to drive. Tremendously powerful from the waist down. A barrel of a man, 240, 6'4½".
20 pitches in this first inning after Schilling through 12. Pitch count tonight would seem to be more important for Schilling, working on short rest for the second time in this World Series. Runner at second, 2 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Williams hops out of there. The fork ball to get Matt Williams. It took 21 pitches for Clemens to get through the first. Got around an error. And after 1 in the desert, no score in Game 7.
Series on Fox, presented by Budweiser, is brought to you by the people of United Airlines. We are united. By Siemens, global network of innovation. And by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you.
Part of the order for the Yankees here in the second, no score. Tino Martinez, Jorge Posada, and Shane Spencer against Curt Schilling, who with help from his defense got around a 1-out double by Paul O'Neill in the first inning. Martinez takes a strike. Martinez so far in this World Series 0 for 5 against Curt Schilling.
Heavy splitter. My goodness. Watch the bottom fall out of this baby.
One out. We've talked about Roger Clemens' influence on Curt Schilling early in Curt's career. Here's what Clemens had to say to him back in 1991.
Respect to your teammates, respect to the game, respect to the opponents, and what you do to prepare to pitch, and respecting the profession. And if you can have that, you can, you can do it with the talent you have.
Curt Schilling has said that after that meeting, it was like getting a third eye. 3 straight splitters to Tino Martinez gets him.
1 out, nobody on. Posada takes the ball up and away. Schilling will tell you that not only was Roger Clemens helpful in watching him from a distance and trying to get him on the right path to stardom, greatness in this game as Posada flies one to left. Gonzalez a long run, 2 out. But when Schilling joined this Diamondback team on July 26 last year and he hooked up with Randy Johnson, the two have really helped one another. And that metamorphosis is now complete from a guy who took his ability for granted. Took his between start preparation not as seriously as he does now. A guy who is constantly talking pitching on the bench when he and Randy Johnson are both sitting there. And he has had a lot of positive influence from so many who are seated around him here tonight. 2 out, nobody on. Strike 1 on Shane Spencer.
So you had the meeting with Roger Clemens in 1991. Schilling meeting up with Johnson in 2000, and sandwiched in between his pitching coach for the Phillies, Johnny Padres, who won Game 7 of the 1955 World Series 2-0.
Spencer hits one to center field. That thing is crushed. Finley back to get it 400 feet away. Defense again. Helped Schilling in the first. It helped Schilling in the second. What a catch by Finley. Bottom of the second in Game 7 in Phoenix. No score. Steve Finley will lead it off for Arizona after making this running catch out in center to end the top of the second.
A lot of people will see the catch, but you fail to see perhaps the type of jump that an outfielder like Finley gets on a ball. Excellent jump, nice play.
So Finley first up, and he takes the ball up and away. Steve Finley 0 for 2 in Game 3 with a couple of walks against Roger Clemens. So far in this postseason, he has been the Diamondbacks' most consistent hitter, with the exception of the guy on deck when he's had a chance, Danny Batista. Finley, one hopper to Jeter. Good play to his left. Finley hitting .354 prior to that ground out. That'll bring in Danny Batista with 1 out, nobody on.
That ball fooled Derek Jeter. He did not have the normal jump. Once he recovers, he throws him out. You can see that hesitation right there. Playing that ball awkwardly off to the side. Ball was hit hard.
So with 1 out, nobody on, here's Batista, who is 6 out of 9 in this World Series. A lot of that damage done against Andy Pettitte. But because of the way he is, according to Bob Brenly, locked in, he has to be in the Arizona Diamondback lineup, and that forces Reggie Sanders to the bench. A guy who hit 33 home runs and drove in 90 runs during the regular season. Time called at the plate.
Roger Clemens, a high ball pitcher. Reggie Sanders, a low ball hitter. This move makes a lot of sense for the Diamondbacks.
Clemens getting the corner, and it's 1-1.
First breaking ball by Clemens. Bob Brenly telling us, with Mark Grace on deck, telling us before the game that Reggie Sanders may pop that ball up and away. You throw it to Danny Batista, he may hit it in the swimming pool.
Late swing and a miss, 1-2. They have changed the ruling. As you look at the last swing and miss on the fork ball from Clemens, Batista came up empty. On the play back in the first, they've taken the error away from Tino Martinez and charged it to Roger Clemens covering. Martinez gets an assist and Clemens gets an error. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just so you get another look at it, here it is. Martinez not able to make the play cleanly. Clemens a little late in getting there and stumbling across the bag, and it's Clemens who comes up with the error.
Lucky he didn't turn an ankle or a foot, that left foot going off the side of the bag.
With 1 out, the 2-2 pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes with Mark Grace on deck. The bullpen for the Yankees watching as Clemens tries to get through these early innings, trying to keep those emotions, that adrenaline in check. Something he has struggled with in years past. 3-2 pitch. A one-out walk. Here's Joe Torre talking about his right-hander being excited in the early innings.
He's a lot emotional. I think our problem with Roger and I is trying to keep him in touch with the rubber, because he's going to be flying high, and hopefully he's got a good command. I think that's the important thing with Roger. He needs to have command. We feel he's physically in good shape, and if that's the case, then I think we're going to see a good ball game.
So far, Clemens is not allowed a hit. He's pitched around an error. He has one strikeout. He has walked one, and the man he just walked, he checks on over at first, Danny Batista. Mark Grace is in the lineup, and to the surprise of some Arizona fans, Rubio Durazo is not. Durazo was 2 for 2 with a walk in Game 3 against Clemens. Grace, as we showed you, is only 2 out of 15, but Bob Brenly told us before the game that Mark Grace has played too long to get to this moment, Game 7, and he feels like Grace will do something big here tonight. Ball 1 from Clemens.
Situation where Bob is implying opportunity meets experience. We talked about Brenly not putting the runner in motion. However, with a guy like Grace, you can do that because Grace can put the high fastball in play on the ground. He's the only one who can do that in the Diamondback lineup for the most part.
Runner is going, hit and run, fly ball to left, base hit. Bautista will hold at second, 2 on, 1 out. A walk, a hit, and Grace did put it in play.
This makes all the sense in the world because of the bat control of Mark Grace. Fastball away, you could see almost aiming the ball the other way. Batista had to make sure. Derek Jeter could have been called for interference. Jeter was on the bag, but look at the move right there by Mark Grace. That's concentration, and a liner the other way.
Now with 2 on, 1 out, the Diamondbacks need a hit from their number 8 hitter, Damian Miller, their catcher.
You know what, Joe? I think Derek Jeter was trying to decoy Batista, and in the process is on the bag, breaking Batista's stride. I think Bob Brenly and the Diamondbacks had a point then that Jeter could have interfered with Batista, even though he made no contact.
Batista, the lead runner at second, with Grace at first. 1 out. 2-0 on Miller with Schilling on deck.
One of the advantages the Diamondbacks have in this ball game is they have 8.5 hitters in their lineup. The Yankees have 8. Curt Schilling with much more experience as a batsman than Roger Clemens.
Pitch. That thing had so much movement on it, Posada couldn't catch it. It's 2-1.
It might have been a cross-up. Watch Posada's difficulty in centering this ball off the end of the glove, or the heel of the glove. 18 pass balls on the year by Posada, the most in the American League.
Just looked like it jumped on him a little bit.
Usually when a catcher, with a runner on at second base, when a catcher goes out to the mound to talk to a pitcher, it's a cross-up. Don't know there, but could have been.
At least the visit makes it look good.
Yeah, right.
2 balls and a strike, 2 on, 1 out. That'll get out of play, 2-2. 96 miles per hour. We've seen Clemens hit 97. Able to drive off that back leg, generate the power that has helped him win 280 games in the big leagues. He is the active career leader in that category. Number 3 on the all-time strikeout list. 2 up. Second strikeout of the night. Now the inning is up to Curt Schilling.
Nobody features power splitters any more than the two pitchers tonight, Roger Clemens and Curt Schilling. Just devastating movement below the knees.
So here's half a hitter.
Yep.
Curt Schilling.
Yep.
11 out of 83 during the regular season. And Clemens gets the benefit of the doubt on the outside corner, 0-1.
Hey, you don't want to say 9 hitters in the lineup because after all, Curt Schilling has to face a very difficult pitcher in Roger Clemens. But he does handle the bat fairly well. Puts the ball in play often.
Going to be hard pressed to do it now as he's set up at 0-2.
For Schilling, it's almost like hitting against himself right now. At least he ought to know the scouting report.
High heat. Shoe top splitters. High heat, 1 and 2. Tony Womack on deck as Schilling waits for the 40th pitch of the night from Roger Clemens. Schilling has had to throw only 19 through 2 innings. Talk about overthrowing. 2 and 2.
Talk about a tough time Posada is having behind the plate. Normally, the efficiency of the pitcher means the catcher and the umpire could have problems. Posada lucky that that was not a pass ball. He's had problems with 2 pitches from Clemens this inning.
Clemens huffing and puffing. Blowing Schilling away. 95 miles per hour. Back-to-back strikeouts after the Diamondbacks put 2 on with 1 out. Let's go to the third. Game 7. No score.
Series on Fox is presented by Budweiser with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you.
Bottom 3 in the lineup for New York. Soriano, Brocious, and Clemens. No score. Curt Schilling is back to work. He struck out 2. He's allowed 1 hit, but faced the minimum as he drills the outside corner with strike 1. The numbers for Soriano in this World Series. In the postseason overall, 273. Oh and 2.
Mel Stottlemyre talking to Roger Clemens, who's thrown 41 pitches in 2 innings. About the only thing I can see is Roger may be a little strong. That's certainly normal in a game like this.
Clemens able to lean on a pitching coach who's been in this situation for the Yankees starting a Game 7 back in 1964 against St. Louis. 0-2 pitch. Still 0-2. And a matchup of Gibson and Stottlemyre. Cardinals winning that game. Stottlemyre making 3 starts in that World Series, as Gibson did, as Schilling is doing in this World Series.
It was Gibson, Stottlemyre all 3 games.
The 0-2 pitch, Soriano into right field for Batista. 1 out in the third. With the bases empty and 1 away, here's Scott Brocious, who is booed here at Bank One Ballpark because of that 2-out, 2-run home run he hit in the 9th inning off Byung-Hyun Kim to tie Game 5. A game the Yankees won 3-2 on the Soriano 12th inning game-winning RBI hit. To the right side for Grace. Will it stay in play? Yep, 2 out. Tim, we heard prior to Game 1 of this World Series that the Yankees' approach was going to be to lay back a little bit, let Schilling throw pitches. If they see something they like, fine, the Yankees will go after it. But the Yankees are up there going after the first pitch more times in this game than they have in either of the other two that Schilling has started against them.
And I think they should. I think that's the approach to Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling led the majors in first pitch strikes this year. 7 out of 10 pitches. 70% of the time he threw a first pitch strike. So with that in mind, why let him get ahead of you?
He falls behind Clemens. 1 ball, 1 strike as Clemens almost took a seat after that swing. With 2 out, nobody on. 97 from Schilling to his counterpart Roger Clemens, who now knows what the other half feels like. Clemens, the strikeout. Schilling's 3rd of the night. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. Welcome back to Bank One Ballpark here in Phoenix, Arizona. We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. There's Paul Beeston, President and Chief Operating Officer of Major League Baseball. What a proud moment for baseball here in Game 7 of this 2001 World Series. As Tony Womack, who is 0 for 1, leads it off. He flied to center his first time, and he takes ball 1 here. As we mentioned, only the 3rd time in the last 14 years that there has been a Game 7. Showing bunt. First time we've seen that look by an Arizona hitter, something that you pointed out at the beginning of the night that the Diamondbacks may try to do with Clemens and that bad hamstring on the mound.
Bob Brenly's line on that is the appropriate players have been told about Clemens' poor fielding.
The 1-1. Yeah, that was part of the scouting report, not just the pitching stuff that Clemens brings with him to the mound, but how he is moving around. And the Diamondbacks believe that Clemens has had trouble, even when he gets to a ball, turning and throwing to a base. The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A lot of pitchers have that problem because they're used to throwing home with movement. So when they throw to a base, often there's movement.
Two and 2 the count. Womack strikes out. Foul tip hung on to by Posada. Here is Arizona manager Bob Brenly giving a scouting report on Roger Clemens.
You have to lay off the high fastball. He loves to tease guys up around the letters with that 95 or 96 mile an hour heater. And if you can lay off that pitch, force him to get the fastball down in the strike zone, we feel we've got a chance to hit him well. The split finger's a devastating pitch, much like Schill's, and that's another pitch. You know, you lay off the high one up here and lay off the low one down there, and it's a lot easier said than done.
So far, Clemens 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's allowed 1 hit, pitched around an error, and he faces Counsell. Chopped the ball down the right side. It landed right on the baseline. Martinez could not make the play to his left, and then in feeding it late to Clemens, Clemens dropped it, and it was Clemens who was charged with the error. So Counsell 0 for 1 and now 1 for 21. Clemens just rearing back and blowing it by Counsell. 1 ball, 1 strike.
In our scouting report with Mike Mussina the other night, you may remember we talked about Mike Mussina and how proficient he was east and west, inside corner, outside corner. Clemens and Schilling are proficient north and south, up in the strike zone, down in the strike zone.
Up the middle, Counsell's on with a hit. Second Arizona hit of the night.
And Clemens, like any pitcher, if he gets it in the middle of the strike zone, he gets hit hard. And that's where that pitch was. Posada sitting outside, right down the pipe. That part of the bat, base hit Counsell. saw Posada go to his right about a foot. So Clemens really missed the mark then.
Now Gonzalez. He was up in this spot back in the first inning with Counsell at first, 1 out. And he grounded out to first. And again, Counsell almost caught, taking his lead from first base.
Roger Clemens has had success in getting Craig Counsell on the wrong foot, leaning towards second base several times.
Counsell's set now, and he gets a throw again. Talk about that right foot. If it's up in the air, that foot has to come down before the base runner can make the move back to the first base bag.
That's why you want to get set before the pitcher is able to move quickly. What makes a good move for a right-hander, quick feet. That's an interesting point, Joe, because in your timing, when you're taking your lead off of first base, you don't want to have the right foot in the air when the pitcher is thinking about going to first base, because as you said, you have to put it down and then go back to first. Too much to do.
Gonzalez takes a strike. 50 pitches now on the night for Roger Clemens. Gonzalez 6 out of 23 in this World Series with 1 home run. But again, 57 during the regular season, after hitting a career high 31 last year. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
When a man hits 57 home runs during the regular season, you're playing deep.
As the Yankees are, at least in the outfield. The infield shortened up for the double play ball. That's foul.
Splitter, Gonzalez out in front. And yanks it foul. Another middle of the plate. Splitter. I got my splitter and plate mixed up and come to call it a splate. That's a new word.
As opposed to Mr. Splitty, which is what Roger has taken to calling that pitch. Mr. Splitty just hung up in the happy zone for Mr. Gonzalez. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fastball up and out of the strike zone. 95 miles per hour, 2-2. Remember, Roger Clemens is working with a lot of backup tonight. Orlando Hernandez, Mike Messina, possibly Andy Pettit in the bullpen for the Yankees, along with Hitchcock, Stanton, Mendoza, and Rivera.
Time for both managers to clean out their refrigerator tonight.
Here's a 2-2 pitch from number 2-2. Struck him out, throw down to first, and Counsell just back ahead of the tag. 2 out.
Tino Martinez had to get ready for the ball in case Gonzalez hit it. For that reason, he was in front of the bag, catches it in front of the bag, and has to dive back to try to get Counsell. You can see Martinez trying to get ready in case Gonzalez hits the ball. Now the quick throw. That's a lot for a first baseman to do with a guy who can pull the ball like Luis Gonzalez.
We mentioned it earlier in this series. Scott Brocious and others have said that people who follow the Yankees don't realize how good of a first baseman Tino Martinez is. They will if he is gone after this season. Free agent to be. As is Knobloch, as is Brocious. El Duque's contract is up, arbitration eligible. He may pack his bags, and Paul O'Neill will likely retire at the end of the year. So for this core group, which started this run back in 1996, has added, has subtracted along the way. This is the final run for players like Those we show you: O'Neill, Tino Martinez, Brocious, Knobloch, and maybe even El Duque. 1 on, 2 out, no score. Bottom of the third, Game 7. Off the plate and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Paul Anka may rewrite it a different way, but the Yankees facing their final curtain, but they've done it their way.
Here's Hernandez out in the bullpen. The Yankees have done it over these years with seemingly a different guy every series. But the constant has been Rivera out in that bullpen. A 1-1 to Williams. Off the plate again. It's a fair ball. Barehand try by Brocious. Safe. And it's 2 on, 2 out.
Sometimes the pitch is so good, this splitter by Clemens, that an infielder has to make an unusual play. And Brocious tried to glove it, too much to do. He had to barehand the ball right there on the second hop. The throw is low. Martinez can't come up with it.
So now it's 2 on with 2 out. Council stayed put as Martinez at least kept it on the infield for the Yankees. It's a base hit, 2 singles in the inning, 3 on the night. The Diamondbacks have had 5 base runners, but nobody has dented home plate. Steve Finley could change that. Grounded out his first time. And takes ball 1.
Posada still having problems centering that fastball from Clemens. Ball is hitting in the heel of the glove, the webbing of the glove, which is fine. But the heel and both sides, that's bad.
A 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. You saw the numbers for Finley, who has been productive in the postseason. A .354 hitter. Coming into this game, he's 0 for 1. 2 on, 2 out. That's backing out of play, strike 2. Steve Finley trying to put Arizona on top. Give them a 3rd inning lead. And now Posada will go out and talk to Clemens.
Could be pitch selection, could be location. If you're Steve Finley, you look for either fastball or splitter, and as Bob Brenly said, that's easier said than done. Get the eye movement from the shoulders to the feet. That really expands the strike zone up and down.
Clemens has struck out 5. Finley able to lay off that high fastball, 96, and it's 2-2.
Jorge Posada did not give a sign. You picked that up on a game the other day, Joe. He went out there and Clemens gave him verbally what he was going to throw, and it was a fastball. Now back to the fingers.
So unlike a 2-minute drill, the quarterback didn't call 2 plays during the huddle, just 1. This place ready to erupt if Finley can get a hit. Clemens strikes him out. 6 strikeouts on the night for the 5-time Cy Young Award winner. We go to the 4th inning of Game 7. Still no score. Welcome back to Bank One Ballpark. It's the 4th inning of Game 7. There is no score. The Diamondbacks have 3 hits. The Yankees only 1. The Yankees have committed the game's only error. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Michael Weissman, Bill Webb. with you. A matchup of Schilling and Clemens. And so far, neither pitcher has disappointed. As the top of the order will bat for the Yankees, Jeter, O'Neill, and Williams. Jeter struck out looking his first time up and takes a ball low. Three out of 24 for Jeter in this World Series. Mixed in there, 0 for 6 against Schilling. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe, we talked about this in the opening, and it is absolutely remarkable that the Yankees, this is their 7th game, and they have had 1 inning in this series in which they have had a runner on at third base and less than 2 outs. And they did that with the score 15-0 last night.
Fastball for a strike. It's 1 and 2. Credit the Arizona pitching.
Absolutely.
They have been fantastic. Whether it's been Schilling or Johnson or Batista or Brian Anderson. The starting pitching for the Diamondbacks is outpitched the starting pitching for the New York Yankees. Joe Torre saying before the game tonight that offensively we don't match up. It's all been based on pitching, the success we've had, and this is the first team that could match up with us on the mound. They have not only matched up with the Yankees, they have outpitched the Yankees, with the exception of the 2 closers, Rivera and Kim. Jeter got a piece of it to stay alive. It's still 2 and 2.
Yeah, for the Diamondbacks, for the most part, their victories have come early in the game, middle of the game. The Yankees, of course, have won 2 dramatic games, game 4 and 5, and that's why we are tied 3-3.
For Arizona, the relievers 0-2 with a 4.15 ERA. The starters 3-1, and the 1 loss belongs to Brian Anderson, who was fantastic, matching up against Roger Clemens in game 3. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Jeter, leading off. Into right field for Batista. 1 away. That'll bring in Paul O'Neill, who was serenaded by the Yankee Stadium fans back in game 5. Acknowledging the crowd, telling our Kevin Kennedy after the game, what a way to go out for the Yankees, for Paul O'Neill. That game 5 3-2 win. Roches tied it in the 9th. Soriano won it in the 12th. Ball 1 outside to Paul O'Neill, who doubled, the only Yankee hit of the night, and then was thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple. On a good defensive play by Batista, the right fielder. Counsell, the second baseman, throwing to Matt Williams, who applied the tag. O'Neill does have 5 World Series rings. 1990 with Cincinnati, and then the 4 with the Yankees. Two balls, no strikes. Rare that Schilling is behind a hitter. 2-0. 2-1.
In thinking about that relay play in the first inning, right on the outside corner, it is rare that you get a runner when a ball is bounced to an infielder. Usually an outfielder has to hit the infielder chest high to get the play, but that's why Counsell, the bigger part of that play, with the strong throw to Matt Williams at third to get O'Neill.
Now it's 3-1. Top of the 4th inning, no score. Game 7 of the 97th World Series. O'Neill takes a strike, full count. still 3-2.
Here's that play in the first inning with 1 out. A low fastball to O'Neill, right center field. Bautista gets to it. Now watch his throw. 1 hop. Counsell moving toward third. No hops to Matt Williams to get Paul O'Neill. Big play in this game so far.
Three-two pitch. 2 out. Four strikeouts for Curt Schilling. There hasn't been a more awkward swing all night. Here is tonight's Aflac Trivia question. Who was the last National League pitcher to throw a complete game in Game 7 of the World Series?
Like a rusty razor through a thick beard. That's a bad swing by O'Neill.
2 out, nobody on. Bernie Williams, strike 1. Curt Schilling, who the day after that Game 4 start said his arm felt terrible, was sending out messages and hinting to people that he would not be available for Game 7. Has felt better every day since then, and here he is in Game 7, throwing in the mid to high 90s. Terrific control. And he is trying to add to the stellar World Series career numbers. 2-1 with a 2.45 ERA. It dates back to 1993 in his days with Philadelphia. 2 balls and a strike on Williams. Schilling is 4-0 with a 0.88 ERA this postseason with 3 complete games. Two and 2 on Bernie Williams. Our Aflac Trivia question: who was the last National League pitcher to throw a complete game in Game 7 of the World Series? Steve Blass, 1971, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Danny Batista first up, ball 1 up and in. Then those terrible control problems plagued Steve Blass in 1973, and they did not leave him. Now one of the voices for the Pittsburgh Pirates as Batista faces Roger Clemens. Danny Batista walked his first time to the plate. Behind second base, Jeter going out, Williams coming in. It's the center fielder for the first out. Danny Batista, who had reached base 5 consecutive times dating back to last night's Game 6 start, is retired for the first time tonight to start the 4th.
Talked about Steve Blass being the last NL pitcher to pitch a complete game in Game 7. The last complete game in Game 7 pitched by Jack Morris in 1991, and it was one of the most memorable performances in World Series history. Just unbelievable. 10 innings to beat the Braves 1-0.
Mark Grace at that point in his career had played in the big leagues for 3 seasons. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes to Mark Grace, who has one of the 3 Arizona hits tonight. 2-0. Grace took a strike. Belt high pitch from Clemens. So Clemens gets the high strike. It's 2-1.
Keep in mind that the home team has won every game of this series. 3 by the Diamondbacks here, 3 by the Yankees in New York.
Jeter can't make the play. Up his arm into left field, and Grace is on for the second time tonight.
Off the heel of the glove. And I think that will be a base hit. Tough play. That ball squirting away from Jeter. So Mark Grace now with 2 hits in this ball game.
A pair of singles, and Damian Miller will bat. Miller missed Game 5 with a strained muscle in his right calf. Played in Game 6 last night, and he's late with that swing. Strike 1.
It's in the middle of the plate, but you can see the action when it hits Posada's mitt. And mitt going about 6 inches to the right.
It's Miller up now, 1 on 1 out, with Curt Schilling waiting on deck. Strike 2.
A lot of folks may think that the action of a particular pitch stops when it hits the mitt. That's not true. With a pitcher like Clemens, with a pitcher like Curt Schilling. Randy Johnson.
No balls, 2 strikes on Miller. Wow. 95 miles per hour, and Clemens got it past Miller to strike him out for the second time tonight. That's 7 overall.
See Posada centering this one. There's that action we were talking about. It looked like the ball, when it hit the mitt, it darted about 3 inches to the left.
Now it's Curt Schilling. 95 miles per hour. Schilling struck out against Clemens in the second, and Clemens struck out against Schilling in the third. One ball, 1 strike. The night for Roger Clemens, as the Diamondbacks have put up 4 hits. Back in the second, had 2 on with 1 out, but Clemens came back with back-to-back strikeouts. Schilling able to put the bat on the ball, but now he's in the hole 1 and 2. Strikeout for Clemens, 8 on the night. We came in talking about the starting pitching matchup. All of baseball talking about the matchup of Clemens and Schilling. The 2 are on so far. We go to the 5th inning. Game 7. Still no score. Back after this from your local Fox station.
He's on Fox is presented by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you.
The 4, 5, and 6 hitters for New York against Curt Schilling. 5th inning, no score. Diamondbacks have out-hit the Yankees 4-1. Clemens has struck out 8. Schilling has struck out 5. Here's Martinez, who struck out his first time, and he takes the ball outside. A steady diet of split-fingered pitches from Schilling to Tino Martinez, his first time up. Fastball misses low, and it's 2-0. Keep in mind that Roger Clemens had 5 starts this year where he threw over 120 pitches. He's up to 75, while Curt Schilling is only at 48 as he works here in the 5th. The 2-0. Schilling gets the outside corner, 2-1.
Just nips the front corner. Says home plate umpire Steve Ripley.
2 balls and a strike. To the right side, it's foul.
The problem with the Yankees offense is that they've been making early outs in the inning. That's why they can't get a runner to third base. They've done it again in only 1 inning in 7 games. A runner at third with less than 2 outs. So it's the inability to score cheap runs against the Diamondback pitchers that is the point there. No ground ball, no sacrifice flies.
Three balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, Tino Martinez.
When the Yankees have scored, the Diamondback pitchers have made them earn it. 7 of the 12 runs scored, once again, the home run.
Pretty good swing by Tino Martinez, and the count remains full. This series, the Yankee offense, first 6 innings, they've scored a total of 6 runs. From the 7th inning on, they've scored the other 6. 3 home runs in the late innings, and that grand total of 12 runs scored as they play in Game 7 of this World Series. 3-2 pitch. Another foul. Martinez only 3 out of 18 in the World Series, 0 for 6. Matching up against Curt Schilling. Just able to get a piece.
That was a high splitter. That's the thing about Schilling. He throws so many strikes, he makes you commit on a ball.
Schilling this postseason has thrown 45 innings. He has allowed 4 runs on 20 hits. Still 3-2.
Curt Schilling had the splitter grip early, as you could see. The center field camera getting into the glove of Curt Schilling. And the result, the toppling effect. That dead spin usually means bad spin for hitters.
3-2. Good battle between Martinez and Schilling. Say it again. Schilling 45 innings pitched in this postseason, allowing 4 runs. Easy into center for Finley. Schilling wins that battle with Tino Martinez, 1 out. That'll bring in Jorge Posada. Fox Tuesday, it's a new episode of the Smash Hit That 70s show and the Simpsons all-new Halloween special, which was delayed because of the World Series. Then Kiefer Sutherland stars in the series premiere of 24. It all starts Tuesday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox. No! Here's Posada, who is 1 out of 7 against Schilling in this World Series. Flied into left his first time up. Ball 1.
You could see Schilling there nodding his head to the right, asking home plate umpire Steve Ripley if that ball was outside. He received the affirmative.
Same pitch, and it's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Went right back out there. This one gets the front corner.
According to home plate umpire Steve Ripley, the 1-1 pitch. 1-2, and Schilling has Posada set up for his 6th strikeout of the night. Two and two. .61 pitches now for Schilling, who threw 88 pitches in Game 4 and said he was finished. The 2-2 pitch. 2 out.
You talk about dejection. When Posada takes this fastball, the head drops as though I had no chance in that at bat. That's the type pitching both teams are seeing tonight.
The Yankees still with only 1 hit. Schilling has faced the minimum. O'Neill, who got that hit, was thrown out trying to go to third back in the 1st inning. With 2 out, Shane Spencer takes a ball.
Shane Spencer homered against Curt Schilling. One of only 2 runs the Yankees have scored against Schilling. He hit it to right field in Yankee Stadium, but right field in this ballpark much deeper than Yankee Stadium.
2-0. Jerry Colangelo, the owner of these Diamondbacks. First year for their franchise, 1998. Same year the Yankees started this run of 3 World Series in a row. Here are the Diamondbacks. The 4th different opponent in the last 4 years for Brian Cashman's Yankees. 98 it was San Diego, 99 Atlanta, last year the Mets. Spencer swinging on 3-0, and he pops it up. Curt Schilling doing it again. Who will blink first tonight? Schilling or Clemens? The Rocket back to the mound. No score. Bottom of the 5th. As Clemens goes back to the hill, and he misses with ball 1. Well, we have seen a lot of 3-0 swings in this World Series with really no success at all. Spencer just went after a 3-0 pitch and flied to center to end the top of this 5th on a ball that was caught by the second baseman out in the outfield grass. And Curt Schilling has faced the minimum through 5. On the other side, Roger Clemens has thrown 77 pitches. He has struck out 8 and allowed no runs on 4 hits. 2 balls and a strike on Womack, who has flied to center and struck out.
In the games that we've done, Joe, I cannot remember a player getting a hit on a 3-0 count. It's unusual because this year in the major leagues, regular season, hitters hit 404 on a 3-0 count when they put the ball in play.
Well, here it's 3-1 on Womack, and the Diamondbacks would love to get Tony Womack on and let him run, or let Counsell bunt, make something happen on the bases. 3-2, and Womack, it looked like, was taken.
Good policy making Clemens throw 2 strikes and not 1. Clemens, on the other hand, will try to get him to hit the ball in the air to center or to left.
Taps it on the ground, 2 hops to Soriano. 1 out. That's the way we begin the bottom of the 5th inning. Womack hitless tonight. Last night, such a big part of the Arizona attack. as he had 3 hits in his first 4 at-bats, drove home 2, scored 2. As the Diamondbacks raised their team average 62 points with last night's 15-2 shellacking of the Yankees.
A lot of guys got well in Diamondback uniforms.
Some of those guys out of the lineup tonight for Bob Brenly against the right-handed throwing Roger Clemens. One guy stayed in because of a big night, Danny Batista. Here's Craig Counsell, who's been on base twice. Reached on an error, singled up the middle, takes a strike. The 39-year-old Clemens misses with ball 1. Came up in 1984 with Boston. Was a Cy Young Award winner and an MVP in 1986 with the Red Sox. One of only 9 pitchers to accomplish that. Counsell gets it over the head of Clemens. Jeter. Good play for the second out of the inning.
Don Zimmer says that Derek Jeter on this particular play is the best he's ever seen. Glove down, body down, throw hard. That is a very difficult play. Excuse me, Joe. Watch the ball stay down. Jeter down. Strong throw to get it.
So the good play by Jeter, and there has to be some concern. Although that concern may fade away here shortly with the hamstring of Clemens, who had to leap high in the air, came down. Brocious immediately went over to him after the play. Clemens was bent over talking to Brocious, and after Posada visited him, Gonzalez will dig in with 2 out and nobody on.
It looked like Jeter may have strained either a hamstring or a lower back. He's moving around, bending at shortstop. Clemens stepped off the mound to look at him and to give him an extra breath.
Gonzalez takes a strike, and he's surprised that was a strike.
And a play like this can injure either a hamstring or lower back when you consider all the things he had to do to make it.
With 2 out, Gonzalez. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Jeter did not get a visit from the trainer as Gonzalez looks at ball 1 outside. Two out, bases empty. 2 ground ball outs. Ground balls have been rare in this game against Clemens. The 1-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Another ground ball. Soriano boots it, and Gonzalez is on with 2 out here in the 5th. Third error of this World Series for Soriano.
When you hear that term, an infielder allows the ball to play him. Usually, an infielder is back on his heels. You see how Soriano backs up on that ball instead of charging it. Right there. Back on the heels, ball bounces too far away. Even with a strong arm, Gonzalez safe.
So the Yankee defense continues to disappoint the Yankee pitching staff. Last night, a misplay by Brocious at third, failure to turn a double play led to a big Arizona inning. Now an error brings Williams to the plate, and what a swing he had, but a foul back, strike 1.
Bad part of the bat on that ball. Williams with good power the other way. The outfielders of the Yankees playing an extra step or 2 deep. This is an early form of a double prevent defense. You don't want the ball going over your head, allowing Gonzalez to score. For the most part, you're saying the Diamondbacks have to get 2 hits to score the run, not 1.
The Yankees now have committed 5 errors in the 4 games played here at Bank One Ballpark. 2 tonight, 1 by Clemens. It could have gone to Clemens or Martinez. Now 1 by Soriano in this 5th inning, and Matt Williams rounds to short. A force out at second. The inning is over. 4 ground balls in the inning. 1 error, 1 left. Diamondbacks have left 7. We've played 5. No score. We go to the 6th inning of Game 7. There's a hero waiting to be found down there somewhere on that field. Right now, 2 heroes are the 2 starters, Curt Schilling and Roger Clemens. Soriano gets one off the hands and fouls it away. Strike 1. Soriano, Brosius, and Clemens against Curt Schilling, who this postseason has allowed 20 hits and 155 at bats. Opponents are hitting 129 against him, and these are playoff lineups. Soriano fly to right his first time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe, usually in games like this, a double threat ends up being the difference, and Soriano's a double threat. Guys who can run and hit with power, because they can beat you either on the bases or with the long ball.
Mentioned Schilling gave up 37 home runs during the regular season, as he just missed off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Schilling wanted the fastball just outside.
Two and 2.
Yankee hitters cannot catch up to that Schilling fastball. And they're out in front of the splitter.
One away, strikeout number 7 for Curt Schilling.
Soriano blown away.
Most world championships, the Yankees have 26 to go with their 38 pennants. Canadiens in hockey 23. The Celtics from the NBA 16. The NFL, the Packers 12. Brosius fouls straight back. The Yankee franchise won 5 world championships in a row between 1949 and 1953, and 4 in a row prior to that from 1936 to 1939. This group trying to put 4 in a row together, and they have met their match with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 0-2 on Brosius, and in particular the pitching of Schilling and Randy Johnson. The Yankees trying to add their name to this list. They're already up there twice. 4 or more straight championships. The Celtics with 8 between 1959 and 1966. But here are the Diamondbacks. 4th year of their franchise history. Schilling strikes out Brosius 2 away. 8 strikeouts for Schilling. And only Roger Clemens stands between Schilling and the end of the top of the 6th inning, and we have seen some horrible Yankee swings against the pitching of Curt Schilling.
5 of the last 7 Yankees have struck out. Schilling, a guy who gets stronger as the game goes along. Don't know how he's going to react with just 3 days rest. His second start, 3 days rest.
Missing with ball 1 to Roger Clemens. Roger struck out his first time up. Puts the bat on the ball, flies to Batista, and the Yankees go in order. Schilling has still faced the minimum, allowed only 1 hit. Bottom of the 6th inning, Finley, Batista, Grace coming up for the Diamondbacks, no score. Yankees have been concerned with a hamstring strain of Roger Clemens through this postseason. He looks strong here tonight. Meanwhile, Derek Jeter looks like he is bothered by some sort of leg injury, as Steve Finley takes a pitch high for ball one.
I think he injured it on that play, that Craig Counsell play, going over the mound. Obviously not serious. Not serious enough to get him out of there.
Finley floats one to center for a leadoff hit. Fifth hit of the night for Arizona. And for the first time all night, the leadoff man is on.
When you get a leadoff batter on and he can run well, that's much, much better, think about it, than a player who clogs up the bases. So that leadoff batter with a fast runner like Finley gets Ramiro Mendoza up for the Yankees. This is a tough read. I mean, do you bunt with a guy like Batista? Got Grace on deck. They're going to walk Grace. I don't think a bunt's in order now. You walk Grace to get to Damian Miller in the pitcher, and nobody's warming up. I think he's swinging.
Add to that, Danny Batista swinging the bat so well.
Right.
Well enough to force Reggie Sanders to the bench. And Batista makes his first start of this World Series against a right-handed pitcher. Into left center field. That ball is going to get down. That ball is going to put Arizona on top. Danny Batista delivers again. Going for third. Out, but it's 1-0 Arizona.
Roger Clemens may have thought Batista was bunting. He threw a fastball, a high fastball, on the inside part of the plate. Watch Batista. Shells it to left center. Finley scores. As we said, he can run. Watch this play by Jeter. Athletically, strong throw, quick tag to get Batista. The second runner retired at third tonight, but the Diamondbacks take the lead.
Now the bases are empty with one out. We have our first run of the night, and the Diamondbacks are out in front here in Game 7. A single by Finley, an RBI double by Batista, out at third, 8-6-5 on the play.
Well, we have seen some magnificent throws by two cutoff men. One by second baseman Craig Counsell in the first to get Paul O'Neill, and now Derek Jeter receiving the ball in midair, coming down and making a strike at third.
Grace reaching for it, bounces one to Soriano. 2 out in the inning. There is no doubt that Jeter is bothered with some sort of leg trouble. And there he is up in the air, gathering it in, throwing in one motion to third to get Batista. The reaction to the out at third, but the big picture, it's 1-0 Arizona in the bottom of the 6th. Now with 2 out, nobody on, and a run in, it's Damian Miller, and it's strike 1.
Watch Jeter, or I should say watch Brocious with a quick tag. Derek Jeter in midair when he received the ball, and he came down and threw the ball flat-footed.
Oh, 0-2 the count.
Boy, that is some throw. And some piece of hitting by Batista.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Damian Miller. Bob Brenly staying with Danny Batista, staying with the hot hand. And on the second extra base hit of the night, the other belonging to O'Neill back in the top of the first, Bautista puts the Diamondbacks up 1-0 in the 6th inning of Game 7. And Miller stays at the plate 1-2.
I wonder if Jorge Posada and Roger Clemens were thinking that Bautista may have been bunting. Usually in that situation, a pitcher will go to his fastball, preferably up, try to get the hitter to pop it up. Bautista did not give Clemens a second chance.
That's foul. Still 1-2 on Damian Miller.
A 1-run inning in this game seems like a 6-run inning.
Clemens strikes out his 9th, but in the inning, the Diamondbacks get on the board. Who will blink first? Roger Clemens will blink first. A hit by Finley, an RBI double by Bautista. 1-0 Arizona. Back after this from your local Fox station. Arizona on top with an RBI double in the bottom of the 6th, and now in the top of the 7th. In Game 7, it's the top of the order for the Yankees. Jeter, O'Neill, and Williams. If anybody gets on, Tino Martinez against Curt Schilling. Strike 1. Jeter is struck out. He's flied to right. Bautista will play it on a hop, and the Yankees put their leadoff man on, and Jeter was limping down the line. Back to the Danny Bautista hit for the only run so far tonight.
Great hitting. Poor base running. You don't want to make the first out at third base. Great relay by Derek Jeter. Quick tag by Brocious. But the Diamondbacks are on the board. No real surprise that Bautista was hitting.
Bob Brenly, in fact, had a change of heart prior to that swing.
I'll put Bunn on, and then I'll change my mind. I'm going to give him one whack at it right here.
He made the right choice.
I'll say.
Now the tying run is on. Jeter is running as O'Neill lines one to center. Blocked by Finley on a terrific play by the center fielder, and it's 2 on with nobody out as O'Neill has his second hit of the night. Back-to-back singles, and the Yankees had started Jeter on the play.
Nice play by Finley. Probably didn't even realize it. He came in quickly, smothers the ball in front of him. Derek Jeter running on the play. Now he sees the ball in front of him, stops, continues, too late. But a fine play, as you said, Joe, by Steve Finley. Now Jeter whacking that right knee, thinking he could have been on third, but he had no idea whether Finley was going to try for the shoestring catch or not.
Playing it on a hop, and now for the first time tonight, the Yankees have 2 on in this 7th inning, nobody out. And Bernie Williams, who is 0 for 2, is at the plate.
This is a bunting situation, but keep in mind the Yankees do not like to sacrifice. It is rare that Bernie Williams is called on to bunt.
Swinging, and that's strike 1.
Joe Torre figuring if Danny Bautista can hit away against a right-hander, Bernie Williams can hit away against a right-hander, even though he is Curt Schilling.
Schilling steps off.
Last time Bernie Williams had a sacrifice, 1996.
Williams is flied to center, struck out 5 out of 22 in this World Series. No balls, 2 strikes as Williams grabs at the bat in frustration. He's set up.
Looked like Williams was trying to ground the ball to the right side. 2 things can happen if that happens. Jeter goes to third, and it's tougher to double up Bernie Williams. The 4-6-3 or 3-6-3 double play, much more difficult than 6-4-3.
Jeter, the lead runner at second. O'Neill, the trail runner at first. Nobody out. 1-0 Arizona. Top of the 7th. The 0-2 to Bernie Williams. 97 miles per hour as the wind starts to whip around here at Bank One Ballpark.
Might be whipping around because of pitches like this by Schilling and Clemens. 3 straight fastballs to Bernie Williams. And if anybody is ever set up for that splitter, it's Williams now.
.82 pitches on the night. To the right side. Grace. They get the middleman. It's first and third, 1 out. Can't turn 2. And the tying run is 90 feet away for New York.
Fine job by Bernie Williams making contact to the right side of the infield. Mark Grace going for the sure out and no return throw by Womack. And now the Yankees have a runner on at third with less than 2 outs.
First and third with 1 out, and Tino Martinez will be the hitter. Damian Miller goes out to talk. The home plate umpire, Steve Ripley, comes out to break it up. There is action for Arizona in their bullpen. As Schilling tries to work out of his first jam of the night. Strike 1.
With a 1-run lead, the Diamondbacks, of course, in double play depth.
Starting to rain here in Phoenix. Just starting to drizzle a bit here in the 7th inning. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Martinez with a base hit to right, and the Yankees have tied it. Williams holds at second, and it's 2 on with 1 out as Tino Martinez delivers to tie it 1-1.
Martinez with a big hit, and Bernie Williams stopping at second base. With 1 out, you have got to make Batista throw you out. Martinez with a line drive base hit to right field, plus Batista catches the ball back on his heels. Watch. Back. You've got to try to go to third base on a ball like that. So while the Yankees get a big hit, Bernie Williams does not take a big base.
He's at second. Martinez is at first. The wind blowing hot dog wrappers and napkins, everything around this field as Posada takes ball 1.
You have to make up your mind yourself. Watch Bernie Williams look at Willie Randolph, the third base coach. If Batista throws you out on that play like O'Neill in the first inning, then it's a good base running play and you tip your cap to the right fielder.
Posada pops it up. Gonzalez is there. 2 out. Tino Martinez, who has tied this game with a hit, tied game 4 with a hit that left the park against Byung-Hyun Kim. A game that was won in the 10th on a home run by Jeter. Tino Martinez quite possibly playing in his last game as a New York Yankee. Delivers here in the 7th inning. Now it's Shane Spencer, who's 0 for 2, batting with 2 on, 2 out.
Curt Schilling is scheduled to lead off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now, clearly, Bob Brenly will be pinch hitting for Schilling. And as far as pinch hitters are concerned, the Diamondbacks have an edge. They have an outstanding bench. You can see Greg Colbrin with a bat, Durazo, a left-handed hitter, Gallucci, a left-handed hitter.
Here's Spencer with 2 on, 2 out. That pitch was up, and Spencer hammered at it. Strike 1.
High fastball that Spencer misses. Usually when you foul a ball straight back like that, you've had a healthy cut.
88 pitches on the night. That was his total in game 4. 2 on, 2 out. 2 strikes on Spencer. Spencer into right center field. That ball's well hit. Finley on the run to end the inning. Steve Finley covering a lot of ground in right center field to keep it tied 1-1. The Yankees get a run on 3 hits, leave 2. They've tied the game. Tonight's game is being seen live around the world by U.S. servicemen and women thanks to the American Forces radio and television service. All of America salutes you and appreciates what you do for our country. Now let's go to public address announcer Jeff Munn.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the playing of God Bless America, please welcome once again Jesse McGuire.
I'm Miss Fix.
The 2001 World Series on Fox, presented by Budweiser, is brought to you by Siemens. Siemens, global network of innovation.
Please remember, Radio Shack is a collection site for the September 11 Fund, benefiting survivors, victims' families, and rescue personnel. Curt Schilling will stay in the game. Take his swings against Roger Clemens. He has struck out twice, and go back out and pitch in the 8th.
I'm surprised at this move by Bob Brenly. 14 home runs by his pinch hitters this year, tied a major league record. The Giants also had 14 home runs. You're running out of outs. 90 pitches, 2 more than what Schilling threw his last time out. I guess you got to figure, Joe, that Curt Schilling may have said something to Bob Brenly about continuing in this ball game.
Well, the Diamondbacks are not blessed with the same short relief that the Yankees have. They do have Randy Johnson available if he has enough lead time to get ready. Otherwise, you're looking at Swindell, Kim, Morgan. And Bob Brenly and the Diamondbacks feel more confident with Schilling going back out with his 90 pitches for the second time on 3 days rest than they do digging into their bullpen after sending a pinch hitter to the plate.
Yeah. I guess that's what Brenly is figuring. You're thinking about Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson will be given the starter mentality. If, for instance, Brenly's planning on putting him out there in the 9th inning, he'll probably send him out there in the 8th, giving plenty of time to warm up.
On 1-2, Schilling strikes out looking. 10 strikeouts for Roger Clemens. While we have gone on and on about Curt Schilling, we talked about the need for Roger Clemens to continue to prove himself in these big games. He certainly did in Game 3. Joe Torre will tell you he did in Game 2 at Yankee Stadium last year in the World Series against the Mets, when he went 8 innings, allowed no runs on 2 hits, struck out 9. But all that people took out of that game was the shattered bat throwing incident with Mike Piazza. But the Yankees, down 2-0, turned to their 39-year-old right-hander in Game 3. He and Rivera combined on a 2-1 victory, and here is Clemens pitching in the 7th inning in a 1-1 game, matched up with Schilling in Game 7. He's 0-2 on Tony Womack.
Splitter is still there for Clemens.
With 1 out, ball 1 to Womack. Counsell on deck, then the left-handed hitting Gonzalez. We showed you Stanton getting loose for the Yankees in their bullpen. See the rain coming down a bit harder now. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Obviously, if the rain gets too bad, that roof will start to close. A 2-2 delivery. Womack stays up there. So far, the roof is staying open. Here's a 2-2 to Tony Womack. Able to spoil it. Just so you know, it starts to pour. It takes about 5.5 minutes for the roof to close here at Bank One Ballpark. Right now, not raining hard enough to halt play, so they leave it open. And with that, the elements. Wind is as much a factor, if not more so, than the rain here at this point. Womack hops out of there. Womack is fly to center, struck out, grounded out. To the right side. Base hit. Wonder if that will be it for Roger Clemens. It appears that is all for the 39-year-old right-hander. With the speed threat at first, with Counsell and Gonzalez, a couple of left-handed batters coming up. After 114 pitches here in Game 7, a couple of slaps on the back, and the 5-time Cy Young Award winner is gone. Stanton will take over. Go-ahead run on. 1 out in the 7th for the Diamondbacks. Schilling gets through 7 innings, and he will continue here in Game 7. Roger Clemens gets through 6 1/3, allows 7 hits, 1 run, leaves with a runner on. Womack, 1 out, 10 strikeouts for Clemens, and here's Mike Stanton.
And as you suggested, Joe, this is a twofold move made to combat the left-handed hitter and the fast runner at first base. So Stanton in for 2 reasons. Counsell, on the other hand, handles left-handed pitching very, very well. A .337 batter during the regular season against left-handers.
Stanton worked 2 innings here last night. 1 on, 1 out. And close but safe at first is Womack.
That was close indeed. Womack back.
One in the bottom of the 7th. Go-ahead run at first for Arizona. 1 out. And Womack is not yet comfortable against the move of Mike Stanton.
Base runners will tell you that with the right-handed throwing first baseman, you can take another half step because he's got farther to reach back. Left-hander with the glove on the right hand, he just plops it down.
Strike 1 to Counsell, who was the National League Championship Series MVP for Arizona. But so far in this World Series is 2 out of 23 as Ramiro Mendoza gets loose for the Yankees in their bullpen. Breaking ball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. In case you want to know, Jorge Posada during the regular season threw out just over 23% of potential base stealers. Is only 1 for 9 in the postseason. And Womack, the runner at first, is 1 out of 3 in the postseason trying to steal a base.
Jorge with a lot of help, however, in Mike Stanton. You can see how closely Stanton is holding Womack at first base. So it's the tandem of a good catcher and a pitcher with a good move that often determines whether you throw the batter out or not, or the runner out or not.
Runner is going, late break, and Womack is out for the 2nd out of the inning.
Looked like a delayed steal.
It did.
That's why Posada double pumped. Didn't know whether to go to first base or second. It appeared to be a delayed steal. Quick tag by Jeter. Womack did not break right away. Perhaps he was fooled by Stanton coming home with the ball. Stanton had thrown over there 4 times to drive Womack back. big out here in the 7th.
Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Counsell. And he pops it up. In foul territory, Martinez puts it away. Well, as you have said before, Tony Womack, with not a great break, Jeter just got there in time.
You know what it was? It was a hit-and-run play. It had to be. He's looking at the ball. Counsell swings through it. He keeps going.
He was the 2nd out. Counsell made the final out. Let's go to the 8th. Is brought to you by Pepsi, and after the first pitch from Curt Schilling to Alfonso Soriano, we'll show it to you. Soriano takes a strike. A matchup of Schilling and Clemens. Schilling is through 7 now, pitching in the 8th. Clemens got into the 7th, relieved by Stanton. Tino Martinez tied the game in the 7th after Batista put Arizona on top with an RBI double in the bottom of the 6th. The last 2 World Series Game 7s have gone to extra innings. In 91, 97. Here in Game 7, 2001, it's 1-1 in the 8th. More rain here in Phoenix as Soriano gets a piece to stay alive. Going down to the bullpen and now starting the long process of getting loose is Randy Johnson, along with Miguel Batista, the Game 5 starter, who pitched 8 innings for Arizona. Soriano stays up there. Soriano has flied to right, struck out. Schilling has struck out 8. Allowed 1 run on only 4 hits. Soriano into deep left field. At the wall, Yankees on top, 2-1.
The Yankees and Diamondbacks have played 66 innings, including this half inning. The Yankees have had the lead 7.5 of those 66 innings. Soriano gives it to them again. Unbelievable.
Now it's Brocious, and it's a strike over the outside corner.
Something down. Soriano knew it. 0-2. And the Yankees with yet another reason to celebrate.
So it's 2-1 New York here in the top of the 8th inning, and Brocious waits for an 0-1 pitch from Curt Schilling. 95 miles per hour. It's 0-2.
That home run got Mariano Rivera up in the bullpen. He will be the pitcher in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Soriano, who won Game 4 of the ALCS with a home run in the 9th against Sasaki, as Brocious strikes out. Later would win Game 5 of the World Series with a hit in the 12th. This into right center field. The game winner. The first rookie in Major League Baseball history to end a postseason game with a walk-off home run. And here in the 8th inning of Game 7, Soriano on the 95th pitch of the night from Schilling goes deep to make it 2-1 New York. Now David Justice bats for Stanton.
Curt Schilling got ahead of Soriano 0-2. He fouled back a couple of pitches. And then on a ball just below the knees, coughed it out to left field. Either a splitter or a breaking ball. Have to assume it was a split finger fastball from Curt Schilling. Something about mid-shin high. Man. Splitter.
Justice takes a strike, and it's 2-1. Justice made the start in game 1 against Curt Schilling. Because of success in his career against this right-hander, that's just foul. Justice struck out 3 times that night. And it was just the start of a frustrating World Series to this point for David Justice.
I would imagine Randy Johnson continues to throw in case Paul O'Neill comes up in this inning. He's 2 hitters away with a home run by Soriano.
With 1 out, nobody on, Justice grounds it up the middle for a base hit. Looked like Schilling may have gotten a piece of it as it went into center field.
Watch the right hand of Curt Schilling. Curt reaching out for the ball. May have clipped the ring finger or pinky. Terrific job by Curt Schilling. Roger Clemens. Now the right-hander will be called.
A 103 pitch night. And Schilling will leave on the short end of a 2-1 game here in game 7. Curt Schilling now sitting and watching as he has gone in the 8th inning. Diamondbacks let Schilling bat to lead off the bottom of the 7th. To go back out for the 8th, and after getting out in front of Soriano 0-2, Soriano hit one into the seats and left as Miguel Batista takes over with 1 on, 1 out.
We expressed surprise that Schilling would lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. And when you consider the whole staff is ready for the Diamondbacks.
That's the 3rd. What a play by Williams. Out at 2nd, and that's all the Diamondbacks can get. 2 away.
That's because the bobble was made by Craig Counsell after he stepped on the bag. Nicely done by Matt Williams. Watch the throw that's low, the catch, and then in coming across the bag, the bobble. So Justice is out. See, he made the play, and then in the transfer, bobbled the ball. So got the out.
Well, O'Neill is coming up, and Bob Brenly is coming out. And Randy Johnson is coming in. Last night's starter, Randy Johnson, in the game for the Diamondbacks. Brenly went out to get Curt Schilling in this 8th inning. Here's what he had to say.
Hell of an effort, Haas. We're going to put Miguel on this guy right here. Get a fresh arm in here. Hell of an effort, big man.
I love you, brother.
You're my hero. You're my hero. Hey, that ain't going to beat us. We're going to get that back plus some. That ain't going to beat us, big man.
Schilling had those words of encouragement as he exited the field. Then Batista took over, got an out, and now it's Randy Johnson, who has pitched 11 games in his career in relief. Throw to first, and Jeter was breaking towards second, able to get back to first as he looked like he was running.
With 2 outs, if Jeter gets a good jump off Randy Johnson, we talked about it last night, he will take off. Paul O'Neill has perhaps seen his last action. Not perhaps, probably. There's Paul over there with his bat. But he's retired one way or the other.
Lifted for the pinch hitter, Chuck Knobloch. Knobloch started in last night's game against Randy Johnson, was 0 for 3 with a walk. Knobloch down the left field line. It is a foul ball. And you can see Jeter limping around the bases. He is hurting, whether it's his foot, his ankle, his calf, his hamstring, whatever it is. We saw it happen back in the 5th inning, and he is bothered.
On that play, coming across the bag on Craig Counsell, but he is certainly limping, trying to pull up there.
Two out in the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Knobloch. Knobloch 1 out of 17 in this World Series, but as it has been for the Yankees, his 1 hit led off the 12th inning of Game 5, and Knobloch came around to score on the hit by Alfonso Soriano, whose home run has put the Yankees on top for the first time tonight here in this 8th inning. 2 balls and a strike on Knobloch.
Got to tell you, Joe, it must be brought out that we expressed surprise when Schilling was not pinch hit for in the bottom of the 7th inning. Diamondbacks in regulation had 9 outs to score a run, and you don't want to squander 1/9 of them. And with Clemens out there, that's what you're doing. Coupled with the fact that in our opening tonight, we thought that if Roger Clemens and Curt Schilling were knocked out in the middle innings, then Brian Anderson, Miguel Batista would play a big role in the game. Well, these are the middle innings in a sense. Even though it's the late inning, Schilling pitched as though, I mean, the Diamondbacks have a very deep bullpen here in the 8th inning.
Into right field off the bat of Knobloch. And that'll end the top of the 8th inning, which started with this. With the rain falling in Phoenix, hopes falling in Phoenix, an 0-2 pitch, and Soriano, the rookie, puts the Yankees on top in Game 7, 2-1.
By Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by the people of United Airlines. We are united.
Bottom of the 8th inning, and Chuck Knobloch stays in the game. He moves over to left field. That switches Shane Spencer over to right. And Mariano Rivera takes over on the mound. The numbers this postseason: 2-0, 5 saves, and an ERA of 0.61.
When you have a guy like Mariano Rivera and his success throughout the season and postseason, it certainly makes your decisions very easy. We talked about the decisions of Bob Brindley, whether to yank Curt Schilling for a pinch hitter to lead off the 7th inning of a tie ball game. He didn't do that. Soriano had the home run in the top of the 8th. Now Joe Torre, with only one decision, going to Rivera.
See those career postseason numbers. And 19 of Rivera's 24 postseason saves have been for more than 1 inning. He takes over in the bottom of the 8th. Luis Gonzalez first up. Ball 1 up and in. Gonzalez, Williams, and Finley. Gonzalez 0 for 3 tonight. One ball, 1 strike. Rivera, after working in all 3 games at Yankee Stadium, has had 2 days off. 2 balls and a strike. He went 2 innings in Game 3. He went 1 inning in Game 4 and 2 innings in Game 5. The 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
After missing with 2 cut fastballs inside, Gonzalez goes after the pitch out of the strike zone.
The 2-2. That's out of play. Bob Brenly said after those 3 games at Yankee Stadium, all 3 one-run losses, and Rivera was involved in every one of them. He said his fantasy would be to come back here to Arizona and not only win this World Series, obviously, but to do it against Mariano Rivera. So many teams have tried. So many teams have failed. The 2-2. 1 out. Gonzalez 0 for 4 here in Game 7.
The only time Gonzalez made contact, he broke his bat. No contact here.
Rivera, who was the World Series most valuable player in 1999, could very well be it again here in 2001 if the Yankees win. The Diamondbacks trying to rally, win Game 7, win this World Series against one of the best postseason relievers ever. No balls, 1 strike on Matt Williams. Curt Schilling still talking to himself after going 7 1/3 innings. He gave it all he had. 0-2 on Matt Williams. Steve Finley waits to hit next. Lowest ERA all time in the postseason. Mariano Rivera at 0.70. In 51 appearances. With 1 out, nobody on, the 0-2 pitch, 2 out.
You may have noticed Jorge Posada moving his mitt up in the strike zone after he gave the signal. He stressed around the letters, and that's where he got it.
Now with 2 out, nobody on, here is Steve Finley, who's 1 for 3. Ball 1 inside. Finley with a base hit to right. And the tying run is on with 2 out here in the 8th. Finley 2 out of 4 tonight. He has had a tremendous postseason.
Best all-around hitter for the Diamondbacks in this postseason, Steve Finley. Now the Diamondbacks have Danny Batista, who had a hit against Rivera. He hit it to right center field, and American League managers know this. Rivera is easier to hit from the right side.
Right now, this is the guy the Diamondbacks want at the plate. Danny Batista, 1 on, 2 out, strike 1. Batista 1 for 2 tonight, and 7 out of 11 in this World Series. Batista hit 5 home runs during the regular season. He has none in the postseason. Nothing in 2.
Down and out of the strike zone.
One on, 2 out. Bautista strikes out, and Rivera struck out the side. Allowed a hit. The Diamondbacks strand their 8th runner of the night. We go to the 9th inning of Game 7. Yankees bat. They lead it 2-1. Randy Johnson goes back to the hill. He will deal with Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, and Jorge Posada. 2-1 Yankees, 9th inning of Game 7. Williams 0 for 3 tonight. Ball 1 up and out of the strike zone. 90 miles per hour from Randy Johnson, who threw 104 pitches in Game 6 last night. Mike Morgan and Byung-Hun Kim are up. Neither one throwing right now as Williams takes a strike.
And thinking about Curt Schilling leading off the 7th inning, it must be pointed out that if Bob Brenly uses his pinch hitters for Curt Schilling in the 7th, you're going to use your pinch hitters with no chance of facing Mariano Rivera. If Brenly then goes to his bullpen, he's dealing with the bullpen unlike any other of the 6 games, because now in Game 7 you have starters in your bullpen and not guys that he's had problems with in his bullpen.
One ball, 2 strikes from Randy Johnson. And Williams flies one to shallow center. 1 out. What are the Yankees trying to do again here tonight? Longest streaks all time. Consecutive championships. The Yankees from 49 to 53 won 5. From 36 to 39. They won 4 in a row. Oakland did it 3 times in a row, 72 to 74. And the Yankees are trying for their 4th in a row. 98, 99, 2000, 2001. Randy Johnson. Slider misses for ball 1 to Tino Martinez. How about Randy Johnson? 38 years old. Throws 104 pitches last night.
Amazing.
He warms up. He comes in, finishes off the 8th inning. And he's back out there for the 9th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tino Martinez. The Diamondbacks in the bottom of this 9th will have the bottom of their order. Grace, Miller, and then the pitcher spot. One ball, 2 strikes on Tino Martinez, whose RBI hit back in the 7th inning tied it. Schilling avoided further damage, but could not avoid the bat of Alfonso Soriano on an 0-2 pitch leading off the 8th. He homered to left, and it's 2-1 New York. To the left side, Womack circles it, throws, got it, 2 out. That brings in Jorge Posada. A lot of people are starting to compare the lopsided scoring to the 1960 World Series, something, Tim, that you talked about last night. When in that series, the Yankees outscored the Pirates 55 to 27, yet lost in 7 games. Arizona has outscored the Yankees 35 to 14 in this World Series, yet the Yankees are 3 defensive outs away from wrapping up their 27th World Championship. The 0-1. 0-2.
Here's what you're talking about, Joe. Look at games 2, 3, and 6. The Yankees over the Pirates. And yet it was Bill Mazeroski's home run in Game 7 that shook the baseball world.
The 0-2. Posada stays up there. Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson, the 1-2 punch for Arizona, giving the Yankees all they can handle. Posada strikes out to send this Game 7 into the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Diamondbacks. They'll take on Rivera. They trail by 1. Bottom of the ninth inning. Last chance for the Diamondbacks. Down 2-1. Mark Grace first up against Mariano Rivera, who struck out the side in the 8th. Grace 2 hits tonight. Ball 1.
Shane Spencer too deep in left field. Mark Grace would have to hit a ball twice to hit it to him. That's Knobloch, I beg your pardon. Spencer in right.
Into center field, a good start for Arizona. Grace with his 3rd hit.
Saying he had a feeling about Mark Grace tonight. Mark Grace has a 3rd of the hits. Look for Miller to be bunting.
David DeLucci runs for Grace. They had Colburn coming to the plate. He was in the on-deck circle until Grace got on. Now they have Miller up to bunt. Strike 1. I'm sure just as it is no picnic to try to swing and hit against Rivera, it's no fun to try to bunt against him either.
That's exactly right. A lot of catchers have a tough time catching knuckleballs. Hitters have a tough time hitting knuckleballs. And hitters have a tough time bunting against Mariano Rivera. What's interesting is Greg Colburn has come to the on-deck circle, a right-handed batter, with the Rubio Durazo, a terrific left-handed batter, on the bench. So Bob Brenly believes the right-hander has the best chance.
The bunt by Miller. Throw to second. Into center field. DeLucci will stay, and it's 2 on with nobody out. And Jeter can't get up.
Joe, earlier in the game, we talked about pitchers throwing the bases, that they had a difficult time throwing because they can't throw anything straight. This ball backs up on Derek Jeter, and his left knee appears to be tangled in the legs of DeLucci. Trying to stretch out for the tag play. You can see the throw backing up right field side, and Jeter with the ankle and knee. He appears to be all right, but a scary moment for Derek Jeter.
And now the Arizona Diamondbacks are possibly a hit away from tying it. And a well-placed extra base hit away from winning it, as Jay Bell now will walk to the plate. Again, Colburn is called back. And now the Yankees will be shortened up, expecting another bunt.
Jay Bell led the National League in bunts in 1990 with 39 sacrifices. He's one of the better bunters in the National League. He would want to bunt it down the 3rd base line to make Brocious field the ball.
2 on, nobody out, and the bunt to Rivera. Throws to 3rd, out. No other play, and it's 1st and 2nd, 1 away.
Rivera, cat-like off the mound. Bell thinking about bunting it toward 3rd. But as you can see, Rivera is so quick to 3rd base that Brocious actually had a play at 1st had he come off the bag. Jay Bell's about halfway down the line, but Brocious content for 1.
And now that the lead runner is Damian Miller, he'll be lifted for Midri Cummings. That's the tying run at second. The potential winning run at first is Jay Bell. It'll be Tony Womack at the plate, first and second, one out.
Just like on Mark Grace, you shorten up in the opposite field. Chuck Knobloch for the Yankees in left field is too deep for Tony Womack right now.
Ball one to Womack. Womack singled his last time up to chase Roger Clemens. Now he faces Rivera. 2 on, 1 out. 2-0. Two and 1. Two and 2. Squeezing every last drop out of this 2001 World Series. Diamondbacks won game 1. They won game 2. The Yankees swept at home. Diamondbacks won last night. Yankees lead in game 7, 2-1 in the 9th. 2 on, 1 out, and Womack into right field, a hit. Here comes Cummings. It's tied. Going to third is Bell. Tony Womack delivers. It's 2-2.
Diamondbacks with late magic of their own.
Now it's Craig Counsell with the infield in. Winning run 90 feet away. Strike one.
The infield in and the outfield in. A sacrifice fly wins the game.
Craig Counsell, who scored the winning run in game 7 of the '97 World Series for Florida against Cleveland, trying to drive home the winning run in game 7 against the Yankees. Hit by the pitch, and the bases are loaded.
The reason that Rivera did not put Counsell on was because on deck was the best Diamondback hitter in Luis Gonzalez, their most valuable player. And here he is with a chance to win the World Series for the Diamondbacks.
The chance of a lifetime for Luis Gonzalez. 2-2, bottom of the 9th. Game 7 of the World Series. Bases loaded. Infield in. 1 out. Strike one.
The one problem is Rivera throws inside the left-handers, and left-handers get a lot of broken bat hits in the shallow outfield. The shallow part of the outfield. That's the danger in bringing the infield in with a guy like Rivera on the mound.
floater. Center field. The Diamondbacks are world champions. As a franchise, the Arizona Diamondbacks were the fastest expansion team to get to the World Series. They're the fastest to win it. Let's go down to the field in Jeannie's Alasko.
Thank you, Joe Buck. I'm with maybe the most popular guy in the Phoenix area right now. Take us through your final at-bat.
I was just trying to choke up. I knew he's going to come in. This is a dream come true. You dream about this situation as a little kid. And just to get up there and put the ball in play and get the winning run in, we can't believe it. This team will not give up. They had a great ball club over there, but our team was relentless. We kept coming back.
Be honest, though. What was life like on the bench when Soriano hit one out?
Well, you know what? Our team, we kept coming in. We believe in everybody in there. And we kept battling. And this is our fans were outstanding. This whole series was phenomenal. This is probably going to go down as one of the best World Series ever.
Outstanding season for you, and congratulations on putting an end to their dynasty.
Thank you.
Big kiss from Matt Williams. Back to you, Joe.
All right, Jeannie. A veteran team assembled to win now. And they do, thanks to this. Off the hands and into shallow left center. Gonzalez knew it. The Diamondbacks have dethroned the Yankees. They are world champions.
In Game 5, Joe Torre had the infield at double play depth. A line drive caught by Alfonso Soriano saved the game. Tonight he elected to bring the infield in and lost.
Let's go to Jeannie Zelasco.
Promise before Game 7, you said, give me the ball, we're going to win this thing. Ever in doubt out here, especially when Soriano got one on you.
Well, I didn't say how we'd win it, just that we'd win it. What a fitting end to the season. This is just the way. Every time we had our backs to the wall, we came back and found a way, and what an unbelievable World Series. Hats off to the New York Yankees.
There you go. Now, what about yourself? The thought process of staying in this game when you knew you had an at-bat coming in the 7th inning. Take us through the conversation with Brenly.
He asked me how I felt. I told him I felt fine. I felt strong all night long. I made some bad pitches. That period, the pitch that Soriano hit out was a split that I couldn't, unless I bounced it, I couldn't get it much lower. And, you know not much you can do about that. It wasn't a bad pitch, but in that spot it was. And, you know, I felt good. I felt strong all night long, and there was no reason to come out of that game unless he thought I couldn't get it done.
There's a rumor floating around here that you are the most valuable player. Has it made its way to you yet?
No, there's about 8 guys that could get that award and then be deserving. This is the most unbelievable.
Can you speak to Clement's performance tonight and what it took facing your master?
Well, I hadn't talked to him, but like I said, dream comes true. This was up against the guy who turned my career around, and I hope we gave the fans something fun to watch because it was intense.
Speaking of those fans, they're screaming for you, so I'll let you go. Once again, congratulations. Joe?
All right, Jeannie, congratulations to Curt Schilling. He took the ball in Game 1. He took the ball in Game 4. He took the ball in Game 7. Got into the 8th inning. Left the field down 2-1. And who gets the victory out of the bullpen? Randy Johnson. Plenty more to come from Bank One Ballpark. The celebration will be on the field. Stay with us. The Diamondbacks win it 3-2 and in the series 4-3.
Every once in a while, Lions post-game show is brought to you by the people of United Airlines. We are united.
Welcome back to Bank One Ballpark. Here's the game winner. Over the head of Jeter, who was drawn in with the rest of the infield for the Yankees. And with that swing and that hit, the Diamondbacks, in only their 4th year as a franchise, are world champions. Right now, as we continue on our post-game coverage, we send you down to Kevin Kennedy, who's standing by with Joe Torre. Kevin?
Joe, I am with Joe Torre. Joe, you haven't been on this side of it for a few years, but this was such an emotional ball club, a tremendous story in the postseason. What do you want to say right now?
Well, you know, we're obviously disappointed in the result, but not the effort. You know, I told my players they need to be proud of themselves because they gave everything out on that field. And, you know, I congratulate the Diamondbacks. You know, the ownership, Joe Garagiola Jr., Bob Brenly did a great job, you know, keeping that club up and operating and motivated. And I congratulate them. I know how that feels, and this is the first time I've felt this.
Well, you know, you had the right situation. You had the right guy out there. This guy has not blown a save in over 23, 24 saves.
Well, I mean, if you're going to ask for one thing when the evening starts, Kevin, it's you have a chance to have Rivera in the game. And you know, we had it. They beat our best. And, you know, you tip your hat to them.
For the city of New York and all that this country has gone through, this is a phenomenal postseason for New York. I know it's not the ending you wanted, but so many emotional wins. Most people counted you out. They thought the Oakland A's were going to win. They thought the Seattle Mariners were going to win. It's just an awesome finish for the New York Yankees, I think, win or lose.
Well, Kevin, I think we picked up the personality and the inspiration of the people in New York, and all the, you know, all the heroes and all the people who gave of themselves there, and you know, no question that inspired us. You don't always win. You know, I always base my opinion on people, on the effort and the desire and the dedication, and this ball club filled every one of those.
I want to ask you one last question. Some of the guys may not be back, and I don't need to name names. We know Paul O'Neill is done, and you've been very close to him, but I want you to talk about those guys and what this club has meant to you over the other clubs.
Well, Paul O'Neill, I mean, a couple of base hits, not a bad way to go out if he does decide to retire, and my feeling is he's going to. He's been the personality of this team. I mean, it's not always pretty, but it's always effective. He leaves his heart on the field, and that's basically what we did tonight. And Paul O'Neill is going to be missed. I'm going to miss him because he meant so much to my life in managing here in New York, which isn't easy to do. But he is certainly a blue-collar guy, which fits right in.
Well, Joe, you guys are great champions, win or lose. Thank you very much. Okay, back up to Joe Buck.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. We've been talking about Joe Torre in the postseason since 1996. A classy, smart man who put it very well. But tonight, a night for the Diamondbacks as they celebrate. They dethrone the Yankees. They are champions of baseball. We'll come back after this.
I think I'm one of the luckiest guys I know. So.
Cal Ripken joins the 3,000 hit club.
Run number 400 for Cal Ripken. Rounds third is Dan. Waves him home. A new consecutive game record. Baseball still iron.
Dad? Ready to go?
Yeah.
The United Airlines postgame show is brought to you by the people of United Airlines. We are united.
The fans having a ball here at Bank One Ballpark. We go down to the field after this 3-2 win in Game 7 by the Diamondbacks and join Jeannie Zelasco.
And I'm with a couple of very special guests. Jerry Colangelo, I think Bud Selig has something for you.
Well, Jerry,
we're going to get both microphones in here to share with the house.
Jerry, tonight it's my honor to present to you the World Championship Trophy. I remember at the inception of this franchise, and here you are 4 years later. You've won the World Championship faster than any expansion team. You've also won the first professional sports championship in the history of the state of Arizona. To Jerry Colangelo and all the Arizona Diamondbacks, here it is, your well-deserved World Championship trophy.
Jerry, what does it feel like?
It's hard to express how I feel. I'm very proud of this team, this organization, this city, and you fans. This is for you.
As the heavens open up in the desert, the rain is beginning again. But I have to believe these are tears of joy for people in the desert.
Yeah, I've cried a lot of tears of joy tonight, and there'll be quite a few more coming later.
All right.
I can't get up there.
Bob Brenly. Look what you have done, Bob. Look what you have done.
I could get used to this. Well, I'd like to congratulate the Yankees. We said all along, if you want to beat the best, you got to beat the best. And the Yankees were the best, and they gave us a heck of a battle. And I want to congratulate them for the run they've had over the last 5 years. But this is a beautiful thing to steal away from them.
1 year ago, you sat in the broadcast booth, and your job was to go down and talk to Bobby Valentine and say, hey, congratulations on the National League thing. Maybe the World Series will come later. Could you believe you'd be standing here holding this trophy 1 year later?
As stupid as it may sound, yes, indeed, I did believe we would be standing here. With the players we have on this team, the ownership of this ball club, and these fans, I knew we could do it.
You shared a fantasy. You said it was to beat Rivera. Guess what? Dreams do come true.
Well, we've had pretty good luck beating on closers all year long, but, you know, Rivera's one of the best in the game. It was a tough thing to do, but our guys never gave up. We said we have 6 outs left. We got to find a way to score a couple runs, and they found the way to do it.
Well, from everybody at the Fox family, we want to say congratulations. We have one more piece of hardware to give out, but you have to wait for that. Joe Buck?
All right, Jeannie, thank you. We'll take a break, come back, and present the Most Valuable Player Award trophy in just a moment. The game-winning hit. Jay Bell scoring the game-winning run, and the Diamondbacks win it 3-2.
The United Airlines postgame show is brought to you by the people of United Airlines. We are united.
Well, the rain cannot dampen the party here in Phoenix because we have more work to do. Mr. Seelig?
It is my pleasure tonight now to present to you the most valuable players in this year's historic World Series. They're well-deserved co-recipients, Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling. Congratulations.
Thanks. Hey, way to go, big boy.
You're fighting over the trophy. That's not such a bad thing. We all knew to get through the Arizona Diamondbacks, you had to get through the 1-2 punch. So how apropos is this, that you both get a piece of this award?
Well, before we say anything, I want to tip my hat to the city of New York and the New York Yankees. They were a class act. We beat the best to win a World Series. And it took every guy on this field, in this organization. More importantly, it took you fans. Without you, we would not have done this. Let's go, D-backs!
And absolutely, it took a team. Randy Johnson, you talked about the special relationship you have with the man here on my left, and truly how you egged each other on to get through this season and get to a championship.
Well, it's been 25 to 30 people on this team all year long, and everybody's contributed to several wins in one way or the other all year long. And you know, we couldn't have done it without a lot of people on this team, and me and Curt took a lot of pride going out there every 5th day, and hopefully we helped them. The other 3 pitchers, but this was definitely a team effort.
And maybe it is fitting, Curt, that you had such a great start here tonight. And as you came out, this man came in relief.
Well, tonight was the perfect game and the perfect way to finish this season. Every guy on this team that played tonight made a contribution, and we're world champs.
Now, you made that prediction once. You made that prediction once coming into Game 7, so are you going to make any projections for 2002?
Yeah, this is not our last World Series championship.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Joe Buck?
Jeannie, thank you, and congratulations to the most valuable players of this World Series. The bunt, Rivera, the wild throw down to second, which started big trouble for the New York Yankees. The big hit by Tony Womack to tie the game, and the hit by Luis Gonzalez to win the World Series. Curt Schilling with a big bear hug for Byung-Hun Kim, who struggled in those games in New York. That's all forgotten now. The Diamondbacks are world champions. Back in a moment.
I
didn't have to hit it hard, just try to loop something out there and get it in play, and that was a dream come true for me.
Another question for Luis.
Did it almost seem like you almost had to win 7 games because you came so close in the games you lost? I mean, was there the idea of being like the 60 Yankees ever cross your mind?
I tell you what, the way this whole World Series was played out, it probably couldn't have finished in a more dramatic fashion. I mean, Tony Womack coming up with a big hit, us being down by 1 run in the 9th inning. Couldn't have been scripted any better for our ball club. I mean, the way our team was relentless all year, battling, fighting, tooth and nail, up 2-0 in this series, go back down 3-2, coming over here, and then, you know, in 2 tough losses, in games 4 and 5, playing the way we did yesterday, and then game 7, the way it ended. That was storybook ending for our team from front to back.
Was there any frustration about the fact that you seem to outplay, do everything, but just won majority of the games? Did you ever feel frustrated?
Not now. All we needed was one more run than they did in this last game. So, you know, this is great for everybody on our ball club, the whole state of Arizona, the city of Phoenix. Just going around the city, man. The last couple weeks, this whole town and the fans, the way they got behind us, it's just an unbelievable feeling. Probably not going to sleep. Didn't sleep for the last week and a half, and probably won't sleep for another week and a half now.
Okay, Tom.
As a teammate of Randy Johnson's, how much do you appreciate what he came in there and did tonight, the night after pitching?
Oh, those guys are workhorses. Those two guys have gotten a lot of, a lot of the attention. There's a lot of unsung heroes on this team. I mean, Batista, Danny and Miguel, DeLucci's, your Colburns, your Councils. I mean, everybody on this team from 1 to 25 and probably to the 40 guys that we used or more throughout the whole season. Everybody has just pieced together, and we've battled. There was no bitterness in our locker room. Everybody, from day one, our goal wasn't to get to the World Series. It was to win it. And we believed, even going into the 9th inning, that we can do it. Gracie came up with a big hit, and we just, bunted a guy over. Just the little things, and, our team just kept battling. We weren't going to give up, and our fans were behind us. They were on their feet in the 9th inning, and we owed it to them and to ourselves. Well, a lot of us have been playing way too long to get in this situation to let it slip away.
Just keep saying this over and over, so I'll say it one more time. You just beat the Yankees. You're the world champions.
Somebody told me that we just beat the Yankees in the World Series, and hey, that's Jackson, by the way.
That's all right, Jackson. Go for it.
I can't believe this, and my 14, 15 years now, and we are the champions. We are the champions, the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's why I signed here, because I knew this opportunity was going to be here. I didn't know it would feel this good.
Out of the lineup in Game 6. Coming into today, Brenly said he just had a hunch. He had to get you back in here, first and foremost, because of your long career and what a warrior you have been for this team. But once again, your skipper's hunch comes through.
Well, after scoring all those runs last night, I thought Bob Brenly might have had a little too much wine and put me in the lineup. But I was glad to be able to get the winning rally started. And I just want to tell everybody here, party at Grace's house, and 49,000 people are invited.
And what about the folks in Chicago? So many Cubs on this team. There was some fear that there might be a bit of a Chicago jinx. What do you have to say to the fans in Chicago?
The ex-Cub factor is now over. It's over. And Gonzo, myself, Mike Morgan, how can you not be happy for Mike Morgan? I mean, he's 25 years in the big leagues, and he finally won a World Series. And then Miguel Batista, everybody contributed, and all us ex-Cubs actually did something good.
Jackson's pushing the mic away, so I'll let you go celebrate, Jackson. Congratulations. On my left, we're not done. Tony Womack, and who is here?
Hi, Al. Can you say hi?
Congratulations, and what an incredible season, what an incredible emotional season for you. I noticed that you pointed to the heavens even as you clinched.
Yeah, I just let my dad know I'm blessed, man. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being the person that I am, and thank you for understanding that it's hard to do some things, but when you believe in your ability, easy things can come.
Can you speak to your performance tonight, and truly throughout this series, of just never giving up?
I don't believe in giving up. I had to earn everything that I've gotten so far in my career, and this is the only ultimate goal, is to win the World Series by earning it. And for me personally, I enjoy it.
He's got a few things to say as well as the celebration continues.
Say hi.
Does it make it a little more sweet that you're finally able to put an end to the Yankees run?
Well, not only put an end to their run, but start a run for our own. I mean, now people are going to come hunting for us next season, and that's the beautiful thing about it.
And what about your 1-2 punch, your co-MVPs tonight? Could you have done it without Johnson and without Schilling?
Not a chance. I mean, those are our workhorses, and we feed off those guys, and when they're on, it makes us play better.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
go celebrate. Joe Buck?
All right, Jeannie, thank you very much. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, and how many times during this World Series did we look at one another and just shake our head while something was happening down on the field? And I guess we have to do it again as Tony Womack gets that huge hit to set up the situation where the infield comes in and Gonzalez floats the ball into left center and the Diamondbacks win it.
Bob Brenly, you remember the meeting on the mound when he took Curt Schilling out of the game. He said, this is not going to happen to us. This is not going to beat us. And that hit by Soriano didn't beat it. But think about the Diamondbacks and where they came from. Those two devastating losses in games 4 and 5. Very few teams could recover from that. They did, and they deserve to be world champions.
Bob Brenly, the first rookie manager to win a World Series since 1961 when Ralph Houck did it with the New York Yankees. We're going to take a break, come back, and say goodnight. Bob Brenly hopping in the dugout, flying onto the field as the Diamondbacks celebrate a World Series victory over the New York Yankees. Congratulations to the fans here in Phoenix. Back in a moment.